Do you ever feel like you are screaming into the void? You've got gold in your head, brilliant ideas, game-changing solutions, but when you try to share them, crickets, blank stares, or worse, a polite nod that means absolutely not. Yeah, we've all been there. Your amazing proposal gets shot down, your crucial feedback gets ignored, or you just can't seem to get your team or your boss on the same page. Super frustrating, right? It makes you want to pull your hair out. But what if I told you that there's a secret tool, a simple yet incredibly powerful 7-step framework that can cut through the noise, command attention, and get you the yes that you deserve almost every single time? Get ready, because today we are unlocking the Clarity Framework. This isn't just another acronym. It's your new playbook for making sure that your voice is heard, your ideas land, and you actually get things done. So if you're ready to stop feeling invisible and start making real impact, you need to watch this video. Let's get into it. First up, C is for context. Think of it as setting the stage. Before you dive into the details, you need to explain the why now. What's the bigger picture? Why is this relevant at this specific moment in time? For example, instead of just blurting out an idea, you could say, as we approach Q3 planning, I've been thinking about how we can increase efficiency without burning out the team. Another example. Given the recent customer feedback about slow response times, I wanted to discuss a potential improvement to our ticketing system. Or even with the new company-wide sustainability goals announced last week, I have an idea for our department's contribution. Without context, your ideas can feel a bit random or even out of place. So be sure to start with context. Next up, we have L for logic. So this is where you back up your idea with hard facts, data, anecdotal evidence, or even observable patterns. You're essentially saying, here's why this makes sense. So don't just state your opinion, present the evidence. For instance, we've seen a 15% drop in turnaround time when we reduced unnecessary meetings. Here's another example. Our competitor, who implemented a similar system last year, reported a 10% increase in customer satisfaction. And one more example for good measure. Data from our internal survey shows that 70% of employees feel their deep work is frequently interrupted. What does logic do? Logic builds credibility and makes your argument much stronger. All right, now for A, ask. This one sounds a little bit simple, but it's actually where a lot of communication breaks down. So you really need to be specific about what you want. Don't hint, don't suggest vaguely, make a clear, direct request. Don't make your boss, your colleague, or anyone else guess what you're trying to achieve. A clear ask looks like this. I'd like to propose a pilot of asynchronous updates for 2 weeks to test the impact on productivity. Here's another example. Could we allocate a budget of $500 for new project management software? Or I'm requesting to lead the cross-departmental team for the upcoming product launch. That's unambiguous, it's clear, and everybody knows exactly what you're suggesting. A vague ask leads to confusion and, even worse, inaction. So be bold and be clear. All right, moving on to R for relevance. Now, my friends, this is crucial. You actually need to explain why your ask matters to them. What's in it for them? Your boss, your team, or even the company as a whole. Better even. So, how does it connect to your shared goals? Or how does it solve a common problem? Tie your proposal directly to their interests. For example, this would help us hit our quarterly targets while protecting deep work time. Or another way to put it, By improving our response times with this new ticketing system, we can directly address the recent customer complaints and improve retention, which is a key OKR for this quarter. Or you can even consider saying something like this. This initiative aligns perfectly with the new sustainability goals and could even generate some positive PR for the company. Now they see the what's in it for me or what's in it for us. And guess what? This makes it much more likely that they'll get on board. So buy-in becomes even more likely, which is what we want. All right, next up is I for integrity. Now, this is all about being honest and transparent. Acknowledge any potential risks, downsides, trade-offs, or uncertainties related to your proposal. So really think about that so that you can voice it. Right? Nobody trusts someone who only presents the sunny side. So showing that you've considered potential challenges builds immense credibility. For example, I know it might require some adjustment in how we check in, especially for new hires. Another example, one potential challenge that I see is the initial learning curve for the new software, which might temporarily dip productivity for the first week or two. Or you could say something like, we need to be mindful that this approach could mean less spontaneous collaboration. So we would need to schedule dedicated brainstorming sessions. So you see what we do here? By acknowledging this, you show that you're thinking realistically and you aren't trying to hide anything. All right, we're almost there. We have T, and that is for timing. So very important. Don't just drop an idea. Propose a concrete plan for when and how you'd implement it. The key here is to make it easy for them to say yes by suggesting a low-risk way to start. So to do this, you want to make your proposal actionable and manageable. For instance, we could test this for 2 weeks in June and review the results together at the end of the month. Another example is, I suggest we start the pilot program with just the marketing team in Q3. And if successful, we can roll it out to other departments in Q4. Or perhaps, can we dedicate the first Monday of next month to a half-day workshop to kick this off with a follow-up review meeting scheduled for 3 weeks later? This is specific, and it offers a trial period, which is really great. A defined timeline and a review point make the commitment feel less daunting. And finally, Y is for your commitment. So you want to end your pitch by showing your personal investment and reliability. What skin do you have in the game? How will you ensure that this is a success? This reassures the other person or people involved that you're not just throwing out an idea and then walking away. You're ready to own it. For example, it might look like saying something like, I'll take full responsibility for tracking outcomes and gathering feedback. And you could also say, I'm prepared to develop the training materials for the new system and conduct the initial onboarding sessions myself. Or, I will personally oversee the project, provide weekly progress reports, and be the main point of contact for any issues that arise. This is really great because it demonstrates ownership and follow through. So there you have it, the clarity framework. C for context, L for logic, A for ask, R for relevance, I for integrity, T for timing, and Y, your commitment. So by consciously moving through these 7 steps, you can transform your communication in the workplace and wherever you want to be influential and persuasive. And by doing so, with practice, you'll be clearer, you'll be more persuasive, and you'll build stronger relationships based on trust and understanding. So I'd like for you to think about a situation where you need to persuade someone this week. How will you apply the clarity framework? Start with providing the context, back it up with logic, make a clear ask where they're not guessing what you want, explain its relevance, be upfront with integrity, and propose a specific timeline. And also show your commitment. Now, it might feel a little bit structured at first, but it's going to help you organize your thoughts. And with practice, it becomes actually a natural way to organize your thoughts and present your ideas effectively. So what do you think? Is the clarity framework something that you see yourself using? Let me know in the comments down below. If you found this video helpful, please give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more communication strategies. Thank you so much for watching. Now go out there and communicate with clarity. And if you want more support, and you want feedback, and you would like to do coaching calls with yours truly, then I invite you to join Explearning Academy. You can sign up by going to academy.explearning.co. See you there.